This video is brought to you by my FC25 Patreon series. We already have videos on roles, how each role and each thing works, FC25 preschool, and we're going to be uploading more and more videos as the FIFA School starts right now. Check out the link down below. If you don't get bet after 1 month, we'll refund your money. That's a nil, guys, guarantee. What's going on, guys? We're going to go over some of the meta FC25 players for your starter squad. Now, we're going to start with the first one, Fella. Now, this card was only 2k last year. Such a good card because she got 91 sprint speed, she got 82 finishing, and she got a good agility and balance. If you're looking for that cheap card with the French links and the Real Madrid links, she's 3-star, 3-star, but for a card that only cost about 3k, for a cheap striker or even a winger when a game comes out, she's definitely the one to be. She does also have the rapid playstyle and the quick step, very, very important. And if this is correct, she does have the inside forward role plus. If you want someone to play on the right wing, but then does make that inside forward runs, she's definitely the card to go. 2k last year, good links, such a good card. The next one we're going to go over is Kessie. Now, Kessie, the good thing is he does link to players like Ibanez. I'm sure you've seen that card already. Now, the good thing with Kessie is that because he doesn't play in a major league, his price is not that high. But if you can get him with a link with someone like Ibanez and get those other leagues together, you got a very, very good card. Now, why I like him the most is he has everything you'd want. He's got the 80 sprint speed, which is very, very important, especially for a starter team going into the first weekend league. Your 82 defensive awareness. And then this is where he really shines, the physicality. 93 stamina, 88 strength, 81 aggression. He can basically do everything. Now, if the playstyles are correct, if the roles are correct, he does get the holding plus. So if you're looking for that CDM that plays that role, and don't forget the holding CDM role is different from the centre mid. So you want someone that's a bit defensive, he has the role plus for the CDM holding. The only downside about him, realistically speaking, is maybe his skill moves, and maybe you could have better play styles. But really, you're going to be using skill moves with your centre mid. But the only real downside is the play styles. If he had something a bit better, maybe even an anchor, he would be better. But to be honest, for a starter team, under the price of 5k like he was last year, he was such a good card. Then we're going to move on to Konate. Now, Konate was about 5k last year. He was about 3k initially, then he went to 5k and he dropped back down to 3k. But this is a good card that you could get, not only for an investment very early on, but because he's French, got the Premier League links as well. But the main thing when you want a centre-back is you want the sprint speed and defensive awareness. Defensive awareness, don't forget, it affects the speed of the run and jockey. The better the defensive awareness you have, the better that player will move. So those of you that struggle with defending, this is the kind of card you want to go for. He does have 80 sprint speed. The only thing that lets him down is that acceleration. So I would say for most of these defenders, you want a shadow. Try to buy him with a shadow. That way you can save money. But he's got the physicality and he's got the stand tackling and interceptions and he's got good reaction. So all around, for a good centre-back, he's a good card. Not only do the links, there's the aerial play style, bruiser, and he does have the block, and he's 6'4". So you're worried about that initial crossing meta, he's definitely a good card that you can get in your team for under 5k. If you want to see more cards like this, let me know down below on what leagues you want to see. Maybe I'm thinking of doing a best cards in each position. Let me know. Then we've got Ajibade, one of my favourite cards. I bought her last year for 3k. I think she went up to like 8k. She spiked it, she went back down to 4k. But she's one of the best cards you can get inside the game. The reason why, she's got very good acceleration and sprint speed, which is very rare, 85 finishing, and good agility and balance. Now, although agility balance could be high 85, the benefit of players that are 5'6", that are very short, they're going to feel better on the ball. The left movement with this player will be better than someone, for example, who's got 85 or 90 dribbling, who's like 6'1". Now, this card is the best. 4-star, 4-star. Imagine if this card was in the Premier League. Now, the only downside is Atletico Madrid. But, the leagues. But Atletico Madrid, you can get some good links. You got Correa. You can even go towards like a Lorente. You've actually got good links if you can get her into the team. And she links to some of the other Nigerian super players as well that are very, very OP. I think she's a very good card. Good stamina and good jumping. To be honest, you can probably even use her into the first weekend league, even later on in the latter stages, in the first month or so, even as a substitute. So definitely a card to go for. She has an inside forward as well on the left-hand side, and she's got the rapid and quick step playstyles, one of the most important cards. Don't be fooled by these underrated cards. They're some of the best cards inside the game. Then we have Williams. Williams is another card with MLS. You can get the new NMLS, whatever it's called. You can get the links to Morgan, to Smith, to Rodman, I believe her name is. All amazing cards. Again, she's got the quick step and she's got the rapid and the block play style and the finesse shot trait. She also has aerial enough. Funny enough, she's only 5'8", but she has aerial. But this could be a good card that can play in that left mid, right mid, be cutting back. With a quick step and rapid, you have that benefit of that added acceleration and that sprint speed. And she has that finesse shot trait as well. Sprint speed is unbelievable. With the finishing, the shot power, I'd probably say you want to put a finisher on her. That way, you get that agility balance up. And also, you'll get that finishing up as well. Some people probably say, oh yeah, go for Hawk or something like that. But to be honest, if you're asking me, I'd probably go with a finisher. That way you get her finishing to 94, 87 shot power, and she'll be inside the box, or she could be around the box. As a winger, she'll be that person that cuts inside and gets those goals. The only downside is that she does have that 3-star weak foot. So you're realistically going to be relying on her. Thank God she's left-footed, so left-hand side, she can cut inside. Top tier agility and balance, very good stamina. A definite meta card to get, one that's very, very underrated. Now, the next card I want to go is Van de Ven. Now, Van de Ven, the problem is his pace has kind of gone up and his defending, technically. So this card might go 10k. It could even, because it's 82 rated, it's not going to go to a crazy amount like 60k because it will get packed a lot. But if you have that 10k, this is definitely one of the best Premier League centre backs you can get. Not only have the Netherlands link as well, the main thing really you're paying here for is that sprint speed, 93 sprint speed. If you're that player that gets done with through balls in behind year in, year out, and you know that's your weakness, this is definitely the card to go for. It also got 80 reactions, but 83 defensive awareness and 83 interceptions is a really good level. I look at defensive awareness first because that's positionally what's important. The downside is, well, there's actually no real downside. Maybe the acceleration could be higher. I would still go in it with a shadow if you're asking me. And people always ask, why would I do this with a shadow? And there's other chemistry styles you can use. Because you always want to get as close to 99 sprint speed as you can, especially if you get caught in behind. You can get away with playing very aggressive, very attacking, knowing that you have a defensive back line that can quickly recover if you're delayed and you get caught out in behind. Got the strength, maybe lacks the stamina and aggression, but the aggression is pretty good. Stamina as a centre back, you don't need that movement unless it's a ball playing centre back, in which he doesn't really have good short passing, so maybe not the best. But he's got the jumping, definitely a meta card. I can imagine you seeing a lot of him in very cheap teams. 6'4", what a card, definitely one of the best. Then, I don't know what happened over there. Then we have Zacharia. Now, Zacharia is a very good card, 79 rated. That's his predicted price for 1,000. But he has a very undercover, really, really good card. Is that he's League One, and he's got 80 defense awareness, 81 stand tackling, 87 strength, 83 jumping, and 87 aggression with 86 sprint speed. Again, you want to put a shadow on him again, or buy him with a shadow, hence saving those coins. But as that CDM position, imagine in that holding position, that's going to be such a cheap card for a good team. Don't forget, now in League One, players like Benyere don't exist, but there's still other good cards in League One that you can link around. A lot of these cards, you got to think ahead. It's better to use a player, for example, who's better naturally. Even if they got lower chemistry, even if they got 2 chemistry, it's better to use a player that's got better base stats than maximizing a lower rated card on high chemistry. Don't make that mistake that all the masses and 99% of the community make. Make sure you be ahead. Then we've got Malon. We're going a bit to the pricey ones. Now, Malon, the predicted price is 6k. He's probably going to hike up a little bit, then come back down. But we saw with Evos last year where Malon can go. Now, Malon is definitely can go towards the almost the R9 territory, if you remember the stats wise. Will he perform that way? Probably not. But as a good starter card, that if you want everything, he's 5'9". He's not the tallest of players, so he can still be good on the ball, but he can move. He's got good agility and balance, good finishing, good shot power, and good sprint speed. You know, when you combine this with another player, you got Lema and you got Netherlands as well. So you can actually combine the Van de Ven and all these other players in Netherlands. You can combine all these players together to get them on chemistry. Such a good card. Can play striker, right mid, left mid, and a right wing, which can be very interesting, especially for the formation options that you may have. 4-star, 4-star, a brilliant starter card. Expect to see him in the weekend league quite a lot. He's a very, very good card. Bundesliga links, loads of cards. Only weakness really here probably is going to say is aggression. But to be honest, for a card that character, that's what you got to take. And maybe his composure. But I think very early on, he's definitely a good card to go. Then we got Correa, the Atletico Madrid link. This is what I said earlier with Atletico Madrid. You can link the player earlier, as I was mentioning, because then you can get Fella there. She's from Real Madrid, but she plays in the women's La Liga. And then, of course, you have the players like Molina, Lorente, and so on. But Correa, Ajabade gets the links as well. What a card. Now, he's probably going to be a bit pricey, but the benefit is he's only 82 rated this year. If I'm not mistaken, the power shot evolution that you get free with Ultimate Edition, you can use it on an 82 rated card. So this is definitely a card that you would consider using the power shot evolution with, because when you put a hunter on this card here, you got 93 sprint speed, 93 finishing, 87 shot power, good agility and balance. Don't forget he's quite short, so he's going to be good on the ball, good passing, and good physicality. So to play this as a striker, I would say anything as a striker, even to play as a right mid as well. Definitely a top tier card. One of the most meta cards inside the game. Every year I go ahead and get Correa, and I'd recommend you getting him as well. And the last card I want to go over is Rolfo. More on the expensive end, but the reason I'm talking about it is because she now has the Jockey Playstyle Plus, a new addition this year. Last year she had Flair or whatever it was, Trickster. But with a Jockey Playstyle Plus, she's going to be an OP player. So what my plan is, this is my plan. Playing her in left back, but playing her as a false back. So in possession, she plays like a centre mid. I kind of want to use her like how Zinchenko is at Arsenal, because she can distribute the ball. She's got defensive awareness. With a Jockey Playstyle Plus, she can maneuver, she can pass, she can shoot, she can do everything. So she will be my cheap OP meta centre mid card. And don't forget as well, she does have a 5-star weak foot. So she'll be the OP centre mid card in possession with a new role system. But let me know if you want to see more meta cards like this. There's so many other meta cards. Check out my channel for the other squad builders and meta cards that I have for all ranges, all budgets, all positions, all leagues. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out, guys.